Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Gemini January 2020 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as January goes, the Sun will be in Capricorn from the 1st until the 20th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on transformation, rebirth, regeneration, insurance, even taxes, um, the sexual partner, intimate relationships, sex in general, one's legacy. It could also be shared resources. And given that this is, you were talking about Capricorn energy. This may be done with a lot of seriousness, done in very methodical fashion, very systematic, done in a way with a lot of caution, a lot of prudence, but also a lot of planning and premeditation as well. Now, given that the sun in astrology either rules the left or right eye depending on gender, in some cases this could be an eye and this could be an eye issue that could be surgical. The eighth house is about surgery. It can be something of course, of a serious nature, or it could be just something due to just general older age if the person is an older person. Could also be at a time too, this could also shine the light on a Capricorn surgical matter, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, or the hamstrings. Anyway, next thing up. Well, as far as January goes, the sun will be in Aquarius from the 20th until the 31st. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on philosophy, religion, higher education, publishing, in-laws, grandchildren, traveling abroad, global communications, even importing, exporting. In some cases, if you are in that business, there could be an even stronger emphasis on this at this time, and also expanding one's horizons, broadening one's horizons at this time, going outside the box, so to speak. Now, given that this is Aquarius energy, this may be done with a lot of selflessness, and really, especially in matters perhaps with in-laws and grandchildren, but it could also be a time too where a lot of this energy may be done in a very unorthodox manner, very unconventional manner, but also very progressive as well, and being very futuristic. I mean, this could be a very good transit when you're talking about expanding one's horizons, and you're talking about Aquarius energy that, of course, is very progressive, very futuristic. This could be a very positive time at this point for going outside that comfort zone. And Gemini usually doesn't have much problem doing so anyway, being as adaptable as Gemini is. Now, also, too, this could be a time too where this could shine the light, so to speak, and put a very strong focus and attention on an Aquarius in-law or grandchild. It could be an Aquarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics, or even it could be a time too where it might even be focusing on some kind of unorthodox religion or philosophy, one that might be somewhat non-conforming to many. So anyway, next thing up. There will be a full moon in Cancer, so full moon solar eclipse in Cancer on January 10th. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, Gemini, well, the thing about it is, I've stated previously in previous videos that when you're talking about eclipses in astrology, you see them as something that could be really serendipitous. They could start out as something negative, but could manifest into something positive. This could be a time, given that you're talking about Cancerian second house energy, this could be a time where you might be, it could be about the departure or leaving of somebody that maybe you had certain dependency on in terms of something monetary or resources or possessions, but The thing about this, Gemini, is if that is the case, it could be a time where it might actually inspire you to nurturing your own finances, your possessions, your resources at this time, and showing maybe some tenacity in those matters at this time. It might be a revelation or unveiling to you of sorts that this is what needs to be done. As full moons, lunar eclipses in astrology can be about very powerful unveilings and revelations, and more so than a regular full moon. It could be something that could be a very point of a strong transition for you, Gemini. It could have very life-altering implications. Now, it could be a time too, or it could also manifest in the completion or culmination of a Cancerian money-making endeavor. It could be something associated with cooking or culinary work or some kind of family business, and maybe something with something with the home or real estate. It could be like home remodeling, renovation, roofing, siding, or doing some work as like a historian or some kind of caregiver where you show a lot of nurturing and caring energy. And it could be a time where this could really be something where something like that could come to an end. And also this could be about a very strong emotional blow up at this time. It could be something that might have been connected with being very sensitive to some kind of ridicule or criticism by somebody that maybe you actually valued and you didn't really maybe understand why. I mean, at this point, and you may at this time could lead to some kind of breakup at this time, which could of course be a significant point in one's life. And it can be a time where one might become really tired, exasperated, full, so to speak, at overly temperamental, moody, oversensitive, over emotional, clinging, dependent. It could be a person that maybe you valued strongly, or somebody that was prominent in your finances and your resources, and it can be an ending or of sorts at this time with that person. So, and again, given that we're talking about a lunar eclipse, it can be something that could be a very significant point in one's life at this time. So anyway. Well, the next thing up is there'll be a new moon in Aquarius on January 24th. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could be the beginning or start where you may embark on an Aquarius. It could be a publishing or higher education venture. It can be something connected with computers, electronics, innovation, something with aerospace, astronomy, astrology. It can be a time too where you begin perhaps to really go outside the box, being very progressive and future oriented as far as expanding your horizons at this time, Gemini. In some cases you may be welcoming in a new, it could be an Aquarius, a new Aquarius grandchild at this time, or an in-law. And if this is something too, and again, I mean, looking at this as well, another way this can manifest and pan out for you at this time, Gemini, could be the beginning of an unorthodox or very unique, an unconventional philosophy or religion as well at this time, in a period where you might show more selflessness, selfless energy with in-laws, with grandchildren, and also doing something. It might be something very spontaneous. You may start something that you do really on the spur of the moment, such as maybe beginning to take some kind of long distance journey, or traveling to uncharted territories. So those are some ways that this could pan out for you at this time, Gemini. So anyway. Well, next thing up, Mercury will be in Capricorn as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 16th. So the 8th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, one way this may manifest and pan out for you, Gemini, this could be about having a lot of serious, very just conventional discussions about maybe, or even conversations about responsibilities to taxes, insurance related matters. It could be issues with credit card situations. It could be a time to guard against becoming overly melancholy or despondent in these matters as well, such as insurance issues, tax issues, making a major change or transformation, even a death that you may have experienced at this time. It could also be communication about making a very methodical type transformation or change, or one that requires a lot of planning and premeditation. Hold on a moment, people. And also, as I've stated previously, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Capricorn traits. Now, excuse me, this could be a time where these people may figure prominently in some kind of crisis or shared resources situation, credit card issues, insurance, tax-related matters. And given that this is talking about whether they're more beneficial or to your detriment, a lot of that could be predicated and dependent on aspects that are made in your chart. A sextile or trine to your natal Jupiter can indicate they might be rather auspicious in those matters, but let's say an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it might go the other way. They might be causing some sorrow and dejection or loss in those matters. Next thing up. Well, Mercury will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 16th until the 31st. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Gemini, you might find yourself communicating perhaps about some Aquarius publishing or higher education venture. It could be something connected to electronics, computers, innovation, something with astrology, aerospace, esoteric subjects, astronomy. It could also be just, if you're publishing something, it could just be something about the future, something very futuristic or even science fiction at this time. This could be about a lot of conversations about going outside the box, where you're being very futuristic regarding this, or maybe even about some kind of talking about some kind of unorthodox philosophy or religion, talking about very unique philosophies at this time. And as I've stated, and it could be it could also be talking about Aquarius related things with in-laws, with grandchildren. As I've stated before, Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aquarius characteristics that might figure strongly with matters with your in-laws, your grandchildren, your philosophy, higher education. At this time, maybe publishing related matters. It could be matters with traveling abroad. Anyway, and that's pretty much it for that. So next thing I want to talk about, well, Venus will be in Aquarius as far as January goes, from the 1st until the 13th. So the 9th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time, Gemini. Well, if you're unattached this time, Gemini, you may connect with an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aquarius characteristics. It could be somebody that you might meet through traveling abroad. It could be through a religious congregation or college, university. It might be a foreigner. This could be a time too that maybe at this time as well. It could be somebody that figures prominently in really in your philosophies at this time, and it could be this could also be a time too where you value more independence, more freedom in matters which you want to do with your grandchildren, if applicable, in-laws, traveling abroad. Things that you want to do as far as expanding your horizons, or what you want to do regarding publishing and higher education. And it could be really a love for some unorthodox or unconventional type religion at this time, or doing something where you might find some enjoyment in Aquarius, like things with in-laws, with grandchildren, or people you know at a religious congregation, or friendly with at a college, university. It could be things connected with computers, electronics, astronomy, astrology, esoteric subjects, just doing maybe just doing things that might be somewhat unusual or unique at this time. So those are, and it could also be about spending money very selflessly. It could be about unpredictable, unanticipated expenses on the law in some cases. It could be in-laws, it could be grandchildren, it could be on some kind of publishing related matter, or maybe even some college, university costs at this time that were very unpredictable. So anyway. Well, last but not least, Venus will be in Pisces as far as January goes, from the 13th until the 31st. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, Gemini, if you are unattached, you may connect with a Pisces Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Pisces characteristics. It might be somebody you meet through your career, it could be prominent in your career, or it may be somebody that might figure strongly play an integral role in your stature in life, your social status. Might be a business person, somebody, it might be some authority figure of some kind, somebody that's in some kind of management position. This could also be a time to Gemini, where it could be a good period for making money, for financial acumen through a Pisces type career, such as something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology, poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry, pharmaceutical work. It could be something connected with fantasy, whether it's like producing some kind of fantasy games, or doing something where you're doing writing, as far as writing some kind of fantasy novels. And I mean, if you're getting, like, say this is making a sextile or trine, or maybe even a conjunction to your natal Mercury, could really be auspicious for doing some writing of that nature, what I just described. And could also be a time to Gemini, looking at this, because this could be about a time where you value altruism, compassion, and very strong sensitivity at this time to matters with the dominant parent, which is often the father. Again, valuing forgiveness as well with this person, perhaps people prominent in your career, or even those that might have even adversely affected your public image and your reputation at this time. So especially as far as forgiveness goes, and showing compassion with those people. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Gemini January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time, where I'll be giving you my Gemini January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.